Okay, so we are going to talk about a little bit sociology today. Imagine that you are a man like me and you walk on the street or you walk in a shopping center anywhere and you don't have any friend next to you, you don't have any partner next to you, and you're alone, you're walking. What you would do normally, you would either be busy with your surroundings, you're gonna look at around what's going on. If you're in a hurry, you're going to be rushing to somewhere and you're not really focused on things, but you want to get the job done. Let's say you're getting a ticket or withdrawing money from ATM or something like that. Or the other thing, you can focus on your phone and message to your friends or talk to your phone. Generally, you're always busy on the street with some things. But I come up with a new thinking or new type of motivation on the street or anywhere that you walk. Imagine that you're a man and you don't see the man. Wouldn't it be quite interesting to think? Think for a second. Let's say you're living in the world, the only man living in the world. You can see everything else, but you don't see any other men, any other same sex. Well, considering that if you are a straight man and seeing only the woman in the world, but not the man, that could be an advantage for you, wouldn't it be? So obviously today's topic is going to be about this. If you're a straight man, that might work out for you. If you're not a straight man, like a gay man or some other sexual preference person, might be a different way for you. But today's topic going to be more related to heterosexual men. So imagine that you don't see other men and you just see the woman. So the way to do that is I've learned by not looking at all into any man when I'm walking on the street. So far I've discovered that it's quite interesting because sometimes when you see men and you're also a man looking to that man, that could bring a few things in here. The first thing is that you do realize that you're both men, and especially if you're both single men, right? Technically you both, and if you're both straight men, technically you're always open to an opposite partner, a new partner or a partner in your life. Like you're always open or you're ready to welcome to a new partner, potentially, because you're both single men. So when you look at the men, that you start to feel that you are in a competition, first of all. There is a competition against you in this potential chance that you might meet some female, right? Secondly, that if you look at a man and you're a man and you're a straight man, it creates more masculine environment in the environment that you're outside. But when you don't see the men, you are the only muscular person around you. So I do know that is a quite interesting. Some people might say some things against it, which is obviously in any type of idea, any type of conversation, people can say some things against it. It's just how the world works. And there's no problem with it. If you say something against it, you're always welcome to share your ideas onto that. But what I've discovered with my experience, when I start to ignore the man on the street or on the public place that I go through, walk through, or sit down on the bus or something, when I ignore the man, the world becomes more beautiful for me. Not because the woman is existing and I can see the woman beautiful, but I eliminate all these things with what potentially men can do, what the same-sex person can do. You start feeling more unique because you start feeling you're the only man in the world. And the second thing, you start to feel softer, which means you don't need to be as masculine when you walk on the street. You don't need to be as tough guy if to do so, because you're becoming a tough guy because other men could be tough. You know, potentially we know a few videos ago that I've talked about generalization, if it's wrong or not. But obviously, if you think in the reality, more men appears to be tougher than naturally. More men appears to be tougher than women in the world. Currently, these numbers might be, the woman life might be increasing at the moment, but still more men is tougher than a woman. So you create a little bit softer life, I would say, which is interesting, you know. And I thought to keep on doing this when I'm on the public place, as being a single man, as I'm open to a new relationship, or I'm open to a female partner, or I'm just because I'd like to feel unique and I'd like to feel more soft. I don't want to compete with anyone. When I go outside, I'd like to feel the world more pleasuring me. And to be honest, it wouldn't really help if I see men on the street. Anyways, if it wouldn't really help if I come to an eye contact with a man. Rather, I would be happier to be eye contact with a woman, because I'm just a man and I'm a straight man, and it is just more interesting to see women rather than a man on the street. And ignoring men, unless if you're gonna do like business fit, or if you really need to see that man for some specific reason, why then I should see that man? And if I can ignore that, if I can actually do that, I think that's a great idea to do. Maybe for some people I might be wrong. Maybe there could be some other thoughts about this one. Maybe I could be missing something in the world. But let me tell you something, even though despite all these things, that does seem to be making me happy. And obviously, you need to try and see what I'm talking about. I mean, if it's free to try, if it's good to try, if you think that's a logical or legitimate or something is interesting to try. I call the movement name. This movement name is ignore the same sex. Just ignore the same sex. Your woman can also try this. If you're a heterosexual woman, you can just ignore looking at a woman. You know, as no harm. Just looking to or seeing. I'm not saying focus on and look at directly into eyes of another woman. I'm not saying don't be aware. Basically, obviously that's something, but just don't see the same sex. Just don't see. Not seeing that. It's like when you're walking in front of the shops, right? You're not going put your hands in your head and looking at the shop front inside the shop. Most likely you don't do that, right? It's the same thing. You just see, you observe, you see the things around you. But from that thing, you just remove the man. And you still see everything, every shop, every corner, everything's interesting, but you don't see the man. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. And that leaves you, for the human world, only see the woman. And that's not directly looking into woman eyes or something like this, unless you're really interested in that. It's a different thing. But if you just see the woman, not look at the woman, I mean, it depends on your environment. It depends on up to you that doing that or not. But just not seeing the man, what we're talking about here is not looking at the woman or focusing on the woman. We are basically disfocusing men. We ignoring men, and then anything else we start in the world as a man. And that makes me totally unique. And that makes me totally more interesting. To me, that I'm interesting. And to be honest, see, if I'm thinking that I am interesting, so what if not other people think about it? I kind of become interesting to me. And that's what I, obviously you can say a lot of things in here, like psychologically, or you can say sociologically, or whatever, anything you like to say. But I tell you something, I've tried that, ignoring men, and I start to become happier, sorry for my English, to walk on the street, to go outside, and even the oxygen that I breathe on the street makes more meaningful to me, because I realize that I don't need to see the man. I don't need to see the man. All I need to see is anything else but the man, because I'm already a man. And there's nothing the man, any random man on the street can benefit me in the world. But seeing a woman, just seeing it benefits me. It just benefits me because it's not men. That's it. Simple as that. Not seeing a man, it's benefiting me. So it's interesting. It's just interesting that I realized I will call this movement ignoring the man. Obviously, for some places, maybe some countries, you eliminate to get into a problem as well, because sometimes men could raise problems in some of the countries, maybe not in the civilized countries, maybe not in the developed countries, but for some countries, it may create some problems. Seeing another man, maybe let's say you want to be relaxed on the street, you just want to be just yourself, but seeing another man creates kind of rivalries, creates kind of competition, and you can't be yourself anymore. And not seeing men anymore, and believing or not believing, I won't say believing because you're not believing into that, but thinking or creating an imagination world in your mind that you are the only man in the world makes you more relaxed and makes you more easy with yourself as well. You're not trying to fake yourself. You're not trying to imitate something, because you know that you're already unique by being only man in the world. So this is what I would like to say from A to Z. And please comment the comment section below. If you got some thoughts about this, you can write it down. But I not recently discovered this, by the way. I discovered this about 2 years ago myself, but I haven't seen any kind of video done before about this, or I haven't seen any kind of people talking about this kind of stuff. But I think this is a very interesting thing, that probably I could be the founder of this movement. I don't know, but I say this thing is ignore the same sex if you're a heterosexual, and probably if you're a single, obviously, because if you got a wife or a kid, or like if you got a partner already in the life, and I mean, why you should see another person, like why you should see another sex, and obviously there are other things could limit what I am saying, ignore the same sex. But if you're completely single, looking for a new relationship, happy seeing other sexes, because if you're a man, and heterosexual man, when you say basic needs of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for example, like the shelter, food, oxygen, and then the sex obviously is one of the beginnings of the human needs. And seeing opposite sex obviously could be just a good thing, just seeing it, just saying. So enjoy watching these videos, and if you liked it, please subscribe, obviously, like everyone else's video. If you like it, subscribe, and please do comment. So if you dislike the video, you may dislike, you may offended, you may, for any reason, I don't want to say something like offensive, but I would like to say only thing that I become happy, just in my mind, or from avoiding from my eyes seeing the same-sex person, and that makes me totally unique to me, into my mind. You may think differently, you may try and think differently, you may try and experience, but you may have different experience. But just saying so, I tried and it worked for me, but you guys may try this and see if it works for you. And you may try this, maybe it doesn't work for you, you may not like to try it. Just let me know how it goes, and we can discuss about it. Okay, thanks for watching.